Hello, I hope everyone is doing well. I'm quite excited about today's video because it is one that I've been wanting to do for a few months now, which is basically me showing most of the art that I did in 2025. I actually wanted to get this video out in February, but obviously it didn't happen. But yeah, I'm really excited about this one because I don't usually look back on the art that I've done. Um, so it is, I think, a good opportunity also to show you what I've been up to, or like what I was up to last year. And there's a bunch of cool drawings. So let's start with January. Um, this is the first drawing that I did. Oh, and by the way, one other thing that I have to say, for each month, I'm mainly gonna show the art that I finished during the month and not the art that I was working on because then it will be quite messy. So there will be, I think, a few months where I don't have any completed art piece, but it's because I was working on other stuff. So yeah, let's start with January. During this month, I finished two pieces, and that's when I was still in my arcane fan art era. So there's this one Jinx piece that actually there is a video on my channel about it, yeah, where I show the process. It's a very cool watercolor piece in my opinion with glitter. So this is the first one. And then the second one is also a Jinx fan art. I tried to experiment a bit more. I think it looks cool. I used watercolor and colored pencil on this one, and I really like the way it looks. Maybe if I were to redo it now, I would change the facial features because I think it might look weird on this one, and also the face proportion in comparison with the body seems a bit off. Like the face seems gigantic. So yeah, but overall, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Now, February through March, I haven't finished anything, but I was working on this other project that isn't finished. So, well, if you recognize this character, you can see that I was still in my arcane fan art era, and I think these are actually the last fan arts that I've done. Well, basically, I was trying to make a card deck with the arcane characters, and I started by working on the queen, king, and jack cards, you know, the three cards with characters on it on regular card deck. So this is, I think this was the heart. I don't know how these are called, but you know, each card has a specific sign. Like there's heart, spade, uh the clover like one, and the diamond. So I separated the different characters into these categories, and yeah, I'm not done. I should really finish this because now that I look back at them, they look quite nice. So this was the king of the heart sign, then the queen and the jack, and this is uh for the clover sign. I don't know how it is called. The king, queen, and jack. Then this is the diamond one. King, queen, and and the jack. And lastly, the, is it the spade? I think it is. So queen. Wait, no, this is the king actually. Then I think this was the queen. I'm not sure anymore. And the jack. Anyway, yeah. I think the portrait looked cool. I just have to finish them somehow. And I also have this because it took me a long while to do the drawing, and I worked really hard so that the lines were really clean. And then I printed them out so that I could work with the value first. Wait, this one is the last one. Maybe I should show this one first. Okay. I made some color researches for most of the cards. This was the first one, then the second one, um, the third one. I really want to paint this now that I see them again. And the last one that I haven't really started much. So yeah, these are like 12 illustrations that I should really finish one day, but I don't know when. Because right now I'm working on other projects, obviously. Um, but honestly, in comparison with what I'm doing now, I feel like this wouldn't take that much time to finish. So maybe I could try to set aside some time to finish this illustration this year. Um, yeah, let me know if you're interested in maybe making a video about it. I don't know. I'm gonna finish this either way at some point. Then comes April. So during this month, I actually did my first art challenge that I successfully completed in a month. So this was the April art challenge, in which you're actually supposed to draw landscapes from real life every day for 30 days, or rather paint them. So I decided that I wanted to use gouache for the entirety of the challenge. And the thing is, at the time, I'd only done, I think, one painting using gouache, and I really wanted to get better with it. And I had also never completed a month-long art challenge, so this was quite a big deal for me. And let me show you the first paintings because they are horrible. Okay, these are the first paintings, respectively day 1 and day 2. I don't think you can even begin to imagine how much I struggled to do these because one, I wasn't used to gouache. As I said before, I think I'd only used gouache to paint one thing in the past, like before this. And then the paper of the sketchbook is horrible. I I'd assume that since gouache is paint that is a bit thick, it would be quite similar to acrylic, and that I wouldn't need to use a specific type of paper in order to paint correctly with it. I was so wrong. I don't know if you can see, but the paint is so thick. Also, the sketchbook is so weird. It's like glowing. Anyway, these were my first 2 days, and by the end, I was feeling so done with it. I almost didn't continue, but thankfully I did, and I changed the paper that I was using. And from then on, my painting started to get better. So this is day 3, and I think you can see the difference already. I changed the paper that I used, and I went for watercolor paper, I believe. I had quite a hard time getting the white reflection right, so I ended up adding white paint. And also at this point, I was still using colored pencils. But after that day, I tried to only use gouache on the painting and nothing else. So this is the 4th day. I really like how it turned out, even though now I feel like the vegetation is a bit overworked. It is still such a big improvement in comparison with the first 2 days. Like, look at this. Look at this. Isn't it so much better? So, yeah, I was really happy with it. Day 5. I really like this one. It was really fun to try and do the different textures of the rocks. And I really like the different colors also. I don't know how much of it you can see. Then day 6. This one is a bit more simple. I wanted to add more details, but I didn't know how to do it. So I stopped there. Not my best, but not the worst either, I'd say. Day 7. I really like this one too. Oh, by the way, and from day 5, I switched to another paper that I stuck with up until the end. There are just 2 colors that I used, but this paper is so good. It's this one. if anyone is interested, I think it's really good paper. I didn't know what to use it for, but it is really good to work with gouache. So I would recommend it for sure. So yeah, day 7. I think at this point I was still struggling with representing the vegetation, which is, by the way, something that I've been struggling for all my life. I think I am quite overwhelmed when it comes to painting vegetation because there are so many details and I don't know what to do. So yeah, here it is. A bit, I don't know, a bit weird. I tried though. Day 8, one of my best. I love it. Oh, and by the way, all of the references, I took them from Pinterest. But this one I think looks so cool. I could definitely make a print out of it because it looks so nice. I love how vivid the magenta is, and the contrast that it creates with the green is really cool. Day 9, I like this one a lot also. It was really fun to experiment with the different colors, and at this point, I think I picked up on the fact that I really enjoyed painting with magenta, like putting magenta as my first layer of color and then building up the different colors, especially the green on top of it was really cool. Day 10, I love this one too. I think at this point I got a bit better at understanding the color and mixing them. Because, wait, maybe I can show you the gouache that I used. So for the gouache that I used, basically I got a set with the primary colors coming in jar like this. So red, blue, green, yellow, and then black and white. And I also bought these 2 additional colors. So an extra green that I thought looked really good, and an extra lilac purple color. And this is the green that I used a lot on the painting. But yeah, since I only had a few colors, I had to mix them up myself, and I bought a palette. So I bought a palette like that. Yeah, the top is really dirty, but don't mind it. It's the palettes where you can put your own paint in it. I think these are actually travel palettes because there's this, and then there's a cup in which you can put water and it holds your brushes also. But yeah, I basically mixed all of my colors myself, and then I used these colors to paint all of it. I didn't go straight inside of the jar anymore. I mixed them up myself, which was quite fun and something that I'm not really used to. Picking up from here, the 11th day, I started noticing that I was gravitating a lot toward painting trees and roots, and it was really funny. So I really like how the tree turned out, but maybe I don't know if you can tell, but the the soil, I struggled so much with it. I didn't know how I wanted it to look. There's like almost no contrast, so I just stopped. Same for the background. Like I tried to do the other tree without much details, but I couldn't really get it quite right. Then on the 12th, I don't like this one that much, but at least I tried. The 13th, one of my favorite also. I really love the different colors. Um, yeah, I like the combination of green and red. This is definitely one of my favorite. Then the 14th, I remember that this one took me quite a lot of time because I was struggling with the values. But it looks fine. Then 15th, I love this one. The blue looks really cool. It was also really fun to try and use different type of brushing technique. I really like dry brushing because it adds such a nice texture in my opinion. Like most of the strokes you can see are dry brushing. Then 16th, I did another statue, and I was really happy with how this one turned out, even though I overworked it quite a lot. But it looks so much better than the first one that I did back at the beginning. If I can find it again. Yeah, this one. So look at the comparison. Day 6 and then day 16. This was such a fun challenge to do, honestly. Then 17th, I messed it up. I feel like it is really hard to understand what's going on. Like, perhaps you understand that these are stairs, but other than that, I feel like everything that's around it and on top is quite hard to distinguish, because I struggled a lot with it. Then, oh, actually, on day 18 and 19, I decided to repaint the first two that I had done on the sketchbook, and I'm so glad with the improvement. So, if you want a comparison, this is day 1 versus day 18, and then day 2 versus day 19. I especially like how this one looks in comparison with this one. Wait, maybe it's more visible like this, and then like this. I think you can really see the improvement in just 20 days. So I was really happy about it. And also I have to say the paper really do make the difference, because this paper is so weird. It was really hard for me to layer the paint, but this one is so nice. It was really smooth. So then day 20, it was fun. Once again, I worked with dry brushing at the top. It was fun. I want to do it again, but I don't have the time this year, sadly. Day 21. Oh, this time, okay, I do like how the tree looks, but for the background, I actually tried to make a gradient, and I struggled so much. I couldn't make it gradient. Like, I got the top color and the bottom one, and then here you can see I tried to mask the fact that I couldn't get a proper gradient with dry brushing again, by adding texture, but if I don't say it, perhaps people can't tell, but since I'm the one who painted it, I know that that's not what I wanted. It's still fine though. Day 22, this is also another one where I struggled. I don't know if it's quite clear what it's supposed to be. It's basically just three in a forest, but I think my main issue here was that I struggled quite a lot with the values, so you don't really know what the different subjects are, except for this big three and maybe this one also. But then everything else is quite confusing, in my opinion, which is fine. Then day 23, another car in the forest that I enjoyed doing. Day 24, I really like the vivid green color. It's I think these paints are really good. I would have liked to add more details, but I didn't know how to without overworking the piece. I just stopped. Day 25. Once again, the magenta is just looking so good. Day 26. It looks very much like an unfinished piece, even though I think I spent at least an hour on it. Like all of this painting, I spent at least an hour on each of them. I didn't time myself, so I don't remember how much time, but I would say maybe from 1 hour and a half to 2 hours, as an average time for all of the paintings. Maybe this one I spent just under an hour and a half on it. I don't know, but I just couldn't get it to get better than that, so I just stopped. Then 27. I love this one, especially the tree bark. The dry brushing looks so good in my opinion. If it wasn't for that, I think I wouldn't have liked this one, but the dry brushing made it look better. And the 28, um, I guess this one was really a trust the process one because up until the end, even after I was done painting it, I didn't like it for quite some time. But then when I looked back on it, I thought it looked quite cool. Then 29th, one of my favorite also. Here again, I guess I do have a value issue because it's quite hard to distinguish between all of the subject, but I really like the colors, so it's fine. And the last one, the 30th, not the best, but at least I completed the challenge, and it was my first time completing a 30 days challenge while painting every day. It was really fun, and it made me get better at gouache also, so that was cool. I'm actually quite sad that this year I'm not doing the challenge because I really wanted to do it again. I wanted to do it every year, but I didn't plan well. I'm quite busy at the moment and I'm working on other projects. And I didn't even see the month of April coming, so right now we're already into the second week of April, I believe, as I'm recording this, and I'm not taking part in the challenge, but perhaps I could make some time to paint some landscape in gouache. So that was all for April. I think April might be the month in which I drew the most because I literally painted one painting every day. Okay, now going to May. I don't actually have finished illustration for May, but there is just one thing that I want to show inside of the sketchbook. I made a sketchbook tour if you're interested. I'm just gonna show one page. This one. Colin Ridman, because I watched back in April I watched Bandersnatch. That is not on Netflix anymore, sadly. But yeah, I fell in love with Colin Ridman, so I had to draw him. And here's the spread that I did in May of him. And yeah, if you want to see the full sketchbook, there is a sketchbook tour on my channel. But that's it for this month. So in July, I made a zine, or rather, I finished a zine. I think I don't remember how long I worked on it, but all in all, I think maybe 3 months. It took me 3 months to finish it, but on this in the span of like maybe 5 months, but like 3 months of active work, I'd say. So it's a zine that I made as a present. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. It's featuring two characters, and it's the cowboy AU, and I'm actually really happy to show it because I never really showed it anywhere. So I don't know how to show it because the pages are glowing under the light. So I hope you'll be able to see a bit at least. So the first part is Vika from Arcane. So for her, I went with two main colors, red and purple, and I really like the way it looks. This one is one of my favorite illustration. I actually tried to put her in a bunch of background, like in different situations, because this is one thing that I struggle with. I usually draw characters out of context, but I tried to make an effort and draw a background for this one. It was complicated, but well. This one, for example, for a very long time, I hated how it came out. Still not my favorite, but I think it looks decent enough. And the faces look good. I really like the overall colors. This one is one of my favorite, for sure. I'm not sure if you can actually see the different things quite well because of the lighting. And then my favorite pages, I tried to put her in a bunch of different outfits. It was so long to paint all of this, but I think it was worth it because the lineup looks really cool. And this is the last page for her. Then the second part is Abby from The Last of Us. I think she's really fitting this cowboy vibe, and her colors are mainly orange and purple. So this one, I was actually quite happy with the sketch, but then I had troubles coloring it. I think if you look only at this part, it looks nice, but I struggle quite a lot for the upper part of her head because I had already casted a pretty big shadow because of her hat, and I didn't really know how to deal with it, so I don't know, I just went with whatever I had, but I'm sure I could improve it. Then these, I think they look nice. This one is one of my favorite. Um, though I don't know if maybe I made her arm too big. Maybe her hand too. I feel like I have, oh, I always have issues to make the head fit nicely with the body in terms of proportion. And I feel like her arm and her hand are too big. But well, it's too late now. Overall, I think I made the illustration with background better for Abby than for Saviga. They look better in my opinion. I also disliked this one for quite some time, but now I do like it. Might be one of my favorite. And then, wait, yeah, we also have the outfit spread, which I think looks really cool also. And this is the end. Yep, that's it. So that's what I finished in July. It was really fun working on it, so I definitely want to do more of this zine. I just need to find time and a subject, but it's really cool. Then in August, I did a series of 6 wood painting. So this is actually wood that I got, like wood panels that I got at the hardware store. And I've been wanting to paint on wood for some time because I saw so many people online painting on it. And I'm using acrylic, so I thought it could be nice to try it out. The thing is, for the longest, well, before that, I'd only painted using acrylic on canvases or like cardboard canvases. I forgot the exact name for it. Like these, you know? It's like a canvas board, yeah. So I would either use canvas board or real canvases, but never wood. So I decided to give it a try because I actually saw some of my favorite artists using wood panels. I decided, yeah, I might as well do it. And here is what I did. I really like this little series. These are all paintings that I made based off pictures that I took myself of things in the street. This is the first one. I really like the texture of it. The second one, oh, and I forgot to mention it, but I later added some additional detail with, what is it called again? All oil stick. I think that's what they're called, but they are not really oily, the ones that I used. So they actually come in pair. I try to work with the same 2 colors for each pair of paintings. So this was the first one. The second one, this one was red and green or purple. I don't remember. So yeah, the second one. I do like the color combination. I think it looks nice. And then the last two. There's this one and this one. I like the combination of the purple, dark purple, and the green. I think it looks really nice. Oh, actually, I do have the thumbnails of the paintings, and I think that for once, the colors are quite accurate in comparison with what I ended up doing. In the end, I just changed this one to make it match this other one, but other than that, but it is quite accurate, and I really like how it turned out. And if I had to choose, I think I would choose these two as my favorites because I really like the way it looks. Um, yep. Now let's go to September. Okay, so in September I got into Rick and Morty fan arts. Even though I have to say I'm not that much into the show, I haven't watched that many episodes, but I feel like it's such good fan art material, especially Rick. So I did this painting. Um, it's like a bunch of Ricks. Sorry, there's like a lot of reflection. But yeah, this is the first. This is actually the second one that I did, and it glows in the dark. Maybe I can show you. I don't know if it's gonna show on the camera, but I'm gonna try. Okay, you don't see it that well, but it glows in the dark, and I think it is really cool. It glows because I added this. It's not really a paint, but it's more of a thing you add on paint. It's from the studio acrylic series of PBO. They were doing a bunch of acrylic paints, and this is a phosphorescent gel that you can put on top of your paintings or whatever you did to make them glow. So that's what I added on top. This was actually the second fan art that I did or that I finished, and the first one is this one. It's to Crow Rick. I had to draw him because when I saw him, I just thought that he looked so cool. Like his outfit looked so cool, so I had to paint him. I used Indian ink and watercolor and gouache for the white details. I have a scanned version that I'm gonna show here because I could change a bit of the colors and I think it looks really nice. And then September is also when I started the figure drawing challenge that I'm still doing to this day. Well, I actually started on August 31st. I also made a video about it. I don't remember what I said though, but it's basically a routine or a challenge, whatever you want to call it, where I have to uh, draw 60 figures for an hour every day. Yes, so this is all from 2025. So yeah, I filled a 3 sketchbook with it, and I'm currently on the fourth one with more drawings. I should finish in next month actually, at the end of May, hopefully. Hopefully I'll be done with it at the end of May, but yeah, that was something that I started in September. In October, I did two different series of painting. So the first one is this one. I used acrylic painting, but initially I wanted to paint with gouache because, as I said before, I really enjoyed the April art challenge that I did. So I decided that I would paint more landscapes using gouache, but I don't know why I prepped all of the paper with acrylic paint, like one layer of acrylic paint, and then I tried to use gouache on top of it and it didn't work, but I'd already prepped quite a lot of sheet of paper, so I ended up painting everything with acrylic, which actually was a good experience. I'm glad that I did it because before that I never really used acrylic on paper that much. And I tried to make them really colorful. So this is the first one. Oh, and by the way, these are all based off either pictures I took or pictures that were sent to me. So my own references. So this is the first one. I really like how colorful it is. I had so much fun picking the colors. The second one, you'll see I worked a lot with pink because pink is a real nice color. This is supposed to be a horse. Yes, I messed up the proportion of it, but I don't know. I didn't know how to make it better than that. Then the third one, these are swans. And here again, I think I messed up the values a bit because, well, two things, the values and the shapes, because I think you can't really tell what this wheel part is, but overall, I think it looks great still. Then this one, which is actually the first one that I painted. Yeah, this one is the first that I painted, and after that I tried to get a bit more bold with the colors, which explains the pink. This one is one of my favorite. It's a horse, as you can tell. I hope you can tell it's a horse. Then these are landscapes. I mean, this one is a landscape, and this one too. I really like how this tree came out. Once again, the combination of purple and green is one of my favorites, I think. This one, I like it a lot also. And this time I was able to do some kind of decent gradient. Oh, this was the last one. Yeah, okay. So I really like them. If I had to pick favorites, these four would be my favorites for sure. And by the way, the paper that I use, it's the same one as the one that I used for the April challenge, just that this one was black. And then the second series that I did is the one on the small cards where I tried granulating watercolor. And this is actually a video that I recorded that is not out yet because I've been procrastinating on editing it for a long time. It is fully recorded, but I still have to edit stuff. And it's taking me some time. But anyway, so basically I painted some animals using Indian ink on the small watercolor cards. The size is A6, by the way. These are like postcards. And then I used granulating watercolor on it. And it is so impressive. Like you can really see the granulation. It looks really cool. So I used one color per painting just so that I could see how they were all granulating. I think this color might be my favorite because it has orange and green and it is such a nice combination in my opinion. Then this one. And the last one. These two are my favorite drawings, but not my favorite colors. I should draw animal with ink more often because this was really fun. And I think the result looks nice also. And this is the palette that I used if you're interested. I think it's pretty well known. It's the Gensai Tenbi from Kuretake. This is the first one that has been out for quite some time. And I know that recently a second set has come out of granulating watercolors. Yeah, I'm not gonna go too much into details about it since I made a whole video that is not yet available, but I'll try to finish it soon. Then in November, I made yet another art challenge, which was the whole process of this one was quite chaotic. I actually have the video uploaded on my channel. So this one is the November art challenge. The principle is quite simple. Basically, each day or whenever you're drawing, you have a specific cue you have to draw with. So yeah, I'm gonna go over them quickly because there's a video about it. This is one of my favorite. Oh, and I started from the nines. I didn't start at the beginning. I only picked it up from the nines. And I drew a bunch of dogs. This one looks cute. Honestly, I'm not I'm not happy with all of them, but overall it was quite an interesting challenge to do. I didn't have that much time. This one is also one of my favorite, and this one too. But yeah, I didn't have that much time to work on them. I really don't know why I did it. I think I did the challenge because, once again, the April challenge was so nice that I wanted to do another one again. But now I know that if I don't have the time, I shouldn't do it. So that was November, and then the last month of the year, December, I don't actually have any finished art from this month, but I do have one work in progress that I can show you that I think I started working on it in December. It is yet another Rick and Morty fan art that I'm not done with. So this is supposed to be Evil Morty, and this is supposed to be a chessboard with a bunch of Rick on it. The thing is, I think the proportions are really off. Like, I like this one, but then all the other Ricks on the chessboard, I think they're way too small. I didn't plan this painting that well, so yeah, I have to work on it again. I actually wanted to finish it in a week, but then I just kept on painting it over all the time. Oh, and I'm also recording a video for it. I almost forgot, but I'm recording the process of this one. So, well, I guess you'll see whenever I'm done with it because I'll upload a video, but I don't think it will be anytime soon since I'm working on a bunch of other stuff right now. Um, yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, so this was most of the things that I did in 2025. It was pretty fun to look back on this. And let me know what you think of all of the things that I showed you. Um, I don't think I'd shown most of them on social media before. Not that I'm much active on it anymore, but yeah. I think the next video I'm gonna record is one where I share what I want to work on this year, and maybe some of the things that I already started working on in 2026. Because, well, I do have a lot of unfinished stuff. I don't know if I have even finished one illustration since the beginning of the year, but I've been working on stuff, so I can show you that. Actually, I wanted to do it all in one video, but I think it will be too long if I add it to this one, so I'll just record it for next time. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I wish you a nice rest of your day. Until next time.